IsReal News, this is the morning brief for Friday, April 10th. Rocket fire struck Israel's western Galilee, with impacts reported in Safed and the nearby village of Deir al-Asad. One rocket hit a parking area in Safed, damaging several vehicles but causing no reported injuries. In Deir al-Asad, a projectile struck a school building. Local officials say the structure is damaged, but there were no students present at the time. Hezbollah claimed responsibility for the launch toward Safed, saying the attack was in response to what it called violations of the ceasefire and continued Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon. In Washington, the United States is pressing forward with diplomacy. Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters before departing for Pakistan that he expects negotiations with Iran to be constructive. He said if Iranian leaders negotiate in good faith, the United States is prepared to extend a hand and pursue a negotiated outcome. Iran, however, is signaling conditions for the talks. A senior Iranian security source told the state-aligned network Press TV that further negotiations depend on Israel halting attacks in Beirut and the Nabatieh district. The source warned that if strikes resume in those areas, negotiations could collapse entirely. Meanwhile, a Lebanese security source reports that 10 members of Lebanese security forces were killed in an Israeli strike on a government building in the southern town of Nabatieh. Israel rarely targets official Lebanese security forces, though the report claims some members are affiliated with Hezbollah. The Israeli military says its campaign in Lebanon continues to expand. According to the latest update, more than 1,400 Hezbollah operatives have been killed since the start of the operation, with over 4,300 terrorist infrastructures destroyed and hundreds of weapons located. Israeli forces also report locating and destroying a loaded launcher aimed toward Israel and discovering an underground shaft connected to militant infrastructure in southern Lebanon. Local leaders in northern Israel are raising concerns about protection for civilians near the border. The head of the Deir al-Asad Council says rockets fired from Lebanon do not distinguish between Arab and Jewish communities, calling on the government to address the lack of shelters in Arab towns near the frontier. Hezbollah's Secretary General says the group's resistance will continue indefinitely. In a message to supporters, Naim Qassem said Israel has not been able to stop rocket and drone launches toward areas near and beyond Haifa despite weeks of fighting. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed a diplomatic dispute with Spain, saying Israel ordered Spanish representatives removed from a military coordination center in Kiryat Gat after Spain criticized Israeli actions. Netanyahu said countries that attack Israel instead of confronting terror regimes will not be partners in shaping the region's future. In Europe, police in Munich are investigating suspected anti-Semitic vandalism after attackers smashed the windows of an Israeli restaurant and throw pyrotechnic devices inside. No injuries were reported, but authorities say the incident is being treated as a possible hate crime. In the United States, a Pakistani national pleaded guilty to plotting a mass shooting at a Jewish center in Brooklyn, timed to coincide with the anniversary of the October 7th Hamas attacks. Federal prosecutors say the suspect intended to carry out a large-scale attack targeting the city's Jewish population. Meanwhile, the Democratic National Committee shelved 3 proposed resolutions critical of Israel and the pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC, instead passing a broader measure condemning dark money in primary elections. And on Wall Street, stocks opened mixed as investors watch inflation data showing rising energy costs while awaiting the outcome of weekend talks related to the fragile ceasefire in the U.S.-Iran conflict. Those are the latest headlines from IsReal News.